Hey everyone, in this video we're going to be looking at the second part of section 1 in chapter 10. So back in the first video we looked at how do you calculate interest for a loan, where you're simply taking your principal times your rate times your time. Now in this part we're going to be looking at what's called maturity value. This is basically going to be your principal, whatever you're going to borrow, plus the interest that we calculated. So again, if I had a loan for $5,000 and I calculated my interest was $750, I simply would add those two together. Now, if you don't know the interest, we're going to sort of break this down into a one-step process where we're going to be calculating everything. I do want to point out with this, we're going to be taking the principal, multiplying it by a combination of rate times time plus 1. Because we are dealing with 1 plus, okay, we need to worry about order of operations here. So we're going to have to take the rate and multiply that by time first. Don't work just left to right with this because we want to take the multiplication part first. And we'll show you some examples with this. So moving forward here. So here's an example where we have a problem like we had back in the first part, where we have a principal, we have a interest rate of 6.5%. Again, we know we have to convert that 1/2 back to 0.5, and again for 24 months, because it's listed in months, we're going to be putting that 24 over 12. So again, this is what I'm going to be doing with this. So here's how I'd calculate my interest. I take my 15,400, multiply it by, again, here's your decimal conversion, 0.065, times 2. And again, that would have been 24 divided by 12, or divided by 12, which gives me 2. And it gives me the interest of 2002. Now, when I add the principal plus the interest together, this is my maturity value. So now, again, we could do it like this. This is just like a longer process. So I'm going to have you look at this new method of doing this if I don't know the interest on that. So I would break this problem down like this. I would have my principal, and then within parentheses, you'd take 1 plus your rate, which is 6.5%, times 24 over 12, which breaks down to 2. They're just moving it down. Because we have to worry about order of operations, I'm going to take the 0.65 times 2. I'm going to do that first, plus 1, and then multiply that by 15,400. So that takes your interest in your principal and puts it all together in one step for you. So it streamlines this a little bit for you when you go back and work on these problems and figure out the maturity value. The other thing in this section 2, or the part 2 of section 1, is looking at the number of days of a loan. And this is where you're going to have to use your calendars to figure out, okay, how many days are in the month of April, June. So there's a chart right here that helps us out a little bit with this. So again, either going to be 28, 30, or 31. So they list everything right here. This will help me out a little bit. So the loan date is going to be the first day of the loan, and the maturity date, or the due date, when is this loan due? This is going to be the last day of the loan. And this is what you're going to be solving for in this next part, the maturity date. So for example here, when I want to do this, I have to go back and look at the first month. Okay, so I'm going to take out a loan. They're never going to give you a problem where it's going to be on the very first day of the month. So I'm going to take the number of days remaining from the first month and subtract it from the loan date. And then I've got to work all the whole months out there. So list the number of days in each of the whole months that follow. And then the last month, essentially, you got to figure this out. Now, this doesn't seem to make sense here, but let me show you an example with this. So the wording on this problem is, all right, I've got a loan starting on April 4th. Remember, I said it's not going to start on an even day. So because April has 30 days, I'm going to take 30 minus 4 gives me the 26 days in the month of April. And then my loan matures on the due date of July 18th. So I've got to figure out, all right, now what are my whole months? So it's essentially going to be May and June. So when I look at this chart over here, May has 31, June has 30. The last month is July 18th. You simply write down the day that it's due. So all you have to do is add up all 4 of these numbers to give you the 105 days. So again, most examples that we're going to work with are going to be like this, where it's going to be pretty straightforward. Again, use this chart right here to help you out a little bit with understanding. The other thing you can do is on your Windows PC, go down to your lower left corner, click on your calendar. Once you bring up your taskbar, let's see if I can do this within this screenshot. Let me get out of this real quick. So one thing I would do is come down here, pull up my calendar. This is another way you can look real quick. Well, there's only 28 days in the month of February. So this might help you out a little bit when you go back and make these calculations. But this chart is something that's certainly easy to work with. So now, when we're looking at determining the maturity date of a loan, this is the second part that we're going to be looking at. So instead of saying, all right, hey, look, the loan is going to be for so many days, and when's the due date? So in the previous example, we looked at, all right, we knew the maturity date. We had to figure out the number of days. Well, in this problem, we don't know the maturity date. We need to figure that out. What they'll do is they'll give you the number of days on this. You'll follow sort of the same process. You got to look at the first month where it's not going to be even. You got to subtract off the loan date from the number of days in that month. And then instead of doing all the adding, we'll show you through a process here where you want to subtract the number of days remaining in the first month. And then we go back to each whole month with this. So let me show you an example to have this make sense. I think this puts it in perspective for us. So again, all right, the maturity date of a loan was taken out on September 9th. So again, this is when the loan was taken out on September 9th. The loan was for 125 days. The question is, when is this going to be due? So here's what I'm going to do. All right, September 9th. I first have to figure out like that first month, never is going to be even with this. So I'm going to take, all right, when I look at the calendar, my chart over here, September falls in 30. So I'm going to take 30 and I'm going to subtract off 9 days because it's starting on September 9th. This would give me the days remaining in September. Days of my loan is 125 days. This is a given to you. What I want to do now is I want to subtract that 21 off that. That gives me 104 remaining. And then what you want to do is write this out. Go month by month by month. Okay, so the next month is October. When I look at my chart over here, October has 31 days. I subtract that off, 104. Am I over 31? Yes. So I'm at 73 right now. So now I got to go back and add on the month of November. So when I look at my chart over here, November has 30 days. So now I subtract 30 off 73, gives me my 43. I'm still bigger than the 31. So the next month is December, and that's going to give me 12 remaining days. So that's going to push me directly into January for this. So again, this is going to be the premise on how we want to figure out the maturity date. So in part 2, we're going to be looking at maturity value. We're going to be looking at the number of days of a loan and the maturity date of the loan. So again, this is going to be very helpful to refer back to this chart for the number of days in the month.